All right, so I'm going to talk more because this is requested by Ong on the Nama-rupa and 5 aggregates. This is a ultimate truth, but I will say more on the viewpoint of Abhidhamma and Vipasana, because Abhidhamma is more theoretical, but you need theory. But from the side of theory, then from the theory, how you move on to practice, there is the Vipasana. So we need both of them. All right, so as I going to introduce all the contents and talk. So if anytime if you want, you can ask question. I don't mind about that. But just make sure when you turn on your microphone, it's not too noisy on your part. The background sound is on. All right. So my contents will be on Nama-rupa, mentality, and mentality. All right. I will explain later 5 aggregates. How to meditate on Nama-rupa, how to meditate on 5 aggregates, 4 noble truth, 4 foundation mindfulness, 28 kinds of mentality in Abhidhamma. Right. So this very important chapter in Abhidhamma, or also in Vipasana. We call it Paramata Dhamma, this Pali word, and it's called ultimate realities 4. So there are 4 types of Paramata Dhamma. So first one is Chitta, consciousness. There are 89 or 121 types. All these are numbers which you don't need to stress so much on this. No need to worry about that. Chittasika is the mental factor, 52 types. Rupa, materiality of the body, 28. Nibbana is 1. So chitta, consciousness, is the pure awareness of the object, right? So this is a definition of chitta. It's just something that knowing the object or awareness of the object. So chittasika 52 are mental factors that accompany the chitta, consciousness. So this means that whenever the chitta arises, so it will arise together with the chitta and chittasika, these two, they arise together. So these 4 are the 4 characteristics of the chitta and chittasika. They arise together, they cease together, they're having the same base and taking the same object. So this is one of the important parts about the relationship between the chitta and chittasika. Especially when you learn Abhidhamma, you really have to remember these 4 points well. So chitta chittasika, we combine, we call it nama, mentality. Or nama means the mind, right? So the mind, the nama-rupa, or nama here mentality, rupa is the materiality. So when the nama-rupa, I will use the Pali word because it's more easy to remember. So when the nama-rupa or mind, matter, or mentality and materiality, they constitute a sentient being or sentient being. All right, regarding this pronunciation, because last time got student tell me it's a sentient being, but I checked dictionary, it can be sentient being or sentient being, depends on UK or US. Okay, so now, human or this sentient being. All right, human or sentient being, so it's made of this nama-rupa. As I said, nama-rupa can be translated in many ways, mentality, materiality, mind, matter, or body and mind. So it means that if this human or this sentient being is have 2 parts. One is called body or mind, or nama means mentality, mind, or rupa means materiality or matter. Then the nama, which you can break down like just now, is called chitta and chittasika. This invisible means we cannot see. And this chitta, as mentioned just now, chitta is a consciousness, 89 or 121 types. It's just awareness of the object. Chittasika, mental factor 52. It's the mental factors accompany that awareness. This is a big one because there are many types which I show later. So it has many things like mindfulness, effort, greed, faith, and so on. This one part of the human nama. Another part is called rupa, materiality of body, 28 types. This one is visible, we can see. And then the mind, nama, we cannot see, invisible. So here I like to use this simile because I find this letter learn ancient words is very interesting. Here when you see this traditional way how we write the human, and it's only you can see the leg or the working part. It's like the rupa. It's visible to us. But the normally the important one, the mind. is not mentioned, the head is not mentioned. So take it like this rupa, which we can see, and then the nama is like the head not mentioned here is invisible. So that's how I interpret the letter of this learn. Okay, this is important because I think Sister Ong, she wants to know the relationship between mind, matter, or nama-rupa. So my teacher, he tell me this sentence: mind is no matter, means that mind is not matter. And this body, matter, is not the mind, so never mind. So you remember, no matter is no matter and it's never mind. All right. So mind knows, but the matter does not know. This means that our mind knows, but the matter or our body does not know. The mind, but the mind needs the body, the matter to know. For example, we say the eye cannot see, but the one that really see is the eye consciousness, which is the mind. This mind and matter, they are separated from each other, but they need each other to perform their function. So what is the simile? It can compare to a cripple or blind. They work together to find the food. Okay, so what the cripple do? Cripple cannot walk. So how he need to find the food? So the cripple, he climbs on the top of the, this is the somebody, the leg of carbon. Okay, so the cripple climb on top of the blind. Okay. So this one, he cannot walk. So he climb on top of this blind person. So this blind person, okay, so so he climbed on top, and then the let me read some. Okay, let me make something. Okay, there's some typing. Okay, so the creeper will climb on top of Brian. So the creeper, the Brian cannot see, so the creeper will point the way, right? So it's like this. Okay. So the creeper will point the way, and then the Brian will walk. So at this point, do you know who is the mind, who is the matter? Where is it? Sorry, yeah. So do you know who's the mind? Okay, now we can open to this according to this diagram. So they are blind. One is blind. Okay, this is blind, and one is cripple. So who is the mind here? Who is the matter here? So Jay, what do you think? Have you heard about this image?
Yeah, the cripple is the mind.
Okay, the cripple is like the mind. Okay, and then
the blind is the matter. The blind man.
The mind is the blind man.
No, the mind is the cripple.
Okay, the mind is the cripple. Okay, yes.
And then the blind is the matter. The blind man.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. Here, because we can see, yes, the mind, he needs the cripple, he needs the body, right? So the mind needs the body to walk. So this means that he needs the brain as the brain act as the body. So the cripple point the way. So the cripple is like the mind that can show the way. And then the body is just like the brain who cannot see at all. So this is one of the simile shown in the path of purification, just try to show us the relationship between this mind and matter. They need to act, they need to help each other. So in this way, they can do whatever they wish to do. Okay, now we're talking about the 52 Chetasika, right? So we go back to point just, okay? So here, Chetasika is 52. So one way why we need to study Abhidhamma, because when you study Abhidhamma, you get to know lots of facts, and it really helps to clarify some certain doubts about practice. So there are 52 Chetasika, and we can see, okay, this is, especially when you study Abhidhamma, you will come across this contact, feeling, perception, and so on, right? There are some universal one, and some are unwholesome one, that delusion, shameless, greed, wrong view, conceit, hatred, and so on, and some of the good one. So all these mental factors accompany the mind. So you can say it gives color to the mind. So there are good ones like faith, mindfulness, and then so on. So it's only when you need to study Abhidhamma in detail, you need to memorize them, like we did in our university. Okay. So now we continue the discussion about the mind and matter. So what is mind? Just remember this statement is a no matter, and what is the matter is never the mind, so never mind. So here is like, please just say everything comes to you to condition, no? Like the sound, but for example, the sound in the conch shell, like they in the ancient time, they're trying to make the sound. So due to the man who blows it and the conch shell, then the sound come to it. Some sound will arise. So this means that everything is based on condition. So like the mind also perform the function is also due to the many conditions like vitality of the body, the heat inside the body, and the consciousness. Then the body may execute the action of going, standing, staying, and then the mind may perform various actions. It means that everything is based on condition. So there's another example here, also very famous, about how the working of mind and matter, like wooden puppet, right? Wooden puppet like now, it look like lifeless, inactive, but somebody when they pull the string, so it will move about, it will standing, it appear full of life, you know. So just like mind and body, at first it look like lifeless and active, but because do these two, they combine together, they're mutual working together, this mental and bodily combination. So this means that mind and body, or mind Nama-rupa, will move together, working together. So they will be standing out, appear to full of life and activities. So like this puppet, when somebody pull the string, it look like life. So Nama-rupa, mind and body. So when they combine together, they appear to be really like living together, alive. Now, come to this important point, how to meditate on Nama-rupa. All right. So first, we must see what is the subject and object. Okay. Nama, mind. We observe the rupa. So this means the subject observe the object, right? So first, when you try to meditate, you try to see the nama, this mind is different from the rupa. So nama, rupa are two separate things, different things. This is the first way you should differentiate between the nama, rupa. And then the second thing, you try to see the condition. Like the mind controls and give instruction to the body. Like the desire to eat, desire to drink, desire to walk. So after that, then the action, there will be action of drinking, walking, and then some more. So this means that the mind is a cause and the body effect. So this is a nama to rupa condition. So at first, that means that you try to see nama, rupa, two different things. Then you try to see how they related to each other. Like the mind is the cause and the body is the effect. So nama to rupa. So sometimes the body influences the mind. Like you have body pains, and then it causes the mind to seek for medicine. So here body is the cause, mind is the effect. So this is the rupa to nama condition. Then the mind controls the mind. For example, you have the desire to drink in the mind, and it causes the intention to go to kitchen to look for water or some juice. So this nama to nama condition. Sometimes you have good food or suitable food, it will cause the good body condition. So this rupa to rupa condition. So all these are, we call it the patana. So 24 conditions. So there are different various conditions that we should apply as much as you can, right? But the basic at first, you really have to differentiate between the nama-rupa, the mind and body, or mentality, materiality, all right? And try to see the condition between these as much as you can. If you can see like this nama to rupa, rupa to nama, nama to rupa, nama to nama, rupa to rupa, and really sharpen your mind, your wisdom will increase very sharp. Okay. Right. And then so after talking about nama-rupa, we are trying to see how we can go more deeper. So the nama-rupa can be divided into 5 aggregates, right? So the first one is the Rupa Khanda, aggregate of materiality. It's like the body, we call it the body. And beside that, this is a very physical one that we can see, visible. And there are some part invisible. So this is under the Nama. Vedana, aggregate of feeling, is a one Cetasika, one. And then Sanya, aggregate of perception, is also another Cetasika. Sankara, aggregate of mental formation, is 50. And Vijnana, aggregate of consciousness, is just the same like Chitta. So this is how we break Nama-rupa and we break into the 5 aggregates. So why we get all this number? Because the total in here, total Cetasika, if you combine, is 52. So if 52, you put 1 plus 1 and plus the 50 here. So you got 52. So that's why the Sankara Khanda is a big group. It has 50 things in it. Now, when you know about the 5 aggregates, we need to see what are their conditions. Okay, so the body, the Rupa Khanda, it acts as a base here. Right? Base means that it like things happen and the mind must occur based on the body. It's the base. All right? And Nama. Okay. So Nama has a, like just now said, is a 4 of them. So aggregate of feeling. Aggregate of feeling is just a feeling. It's like good feeling, bad feeling, or neutral feeling. Sanya, we call it the aggregate of perception, that's perceiving. And Sankara, there are 50, like just now said, there are many things in there. Aggregate of mental formations, and there are other things like such as intention, mindfulness, desire. There are 50 of them. It's a lot. So when you study Abhidhamma, you get to know them in detail. And Vijnana. Vijnana Khanda, the word Vijnana is same with Chitta. It's just the aggregate of consciousness, knowing. So these 5 aggregates happen and arise simultaneously, but only one can be predominant at one time. Well, why is it predominant? So like, for example, when you feel that the like earth element, you feel that body is very heavy. So at the time, the Rupa Khanda is a more predominant. So if you have good or bad feeling, then the Vedana Khanda is more predominant. So if you're perceiving something like you see the color or you're making noise or something, and then this Sanya Khanda is more predominant. So there are other things like mindfulness and so on. At the time, Sankara Khanda is more predominant. So when you just knowing, like you know the sight, know the sound, and then this Vijnana Khanda. So there are some similes of aggregates given in the Tipitaka. Like the physical form is like it's like water form made of small things. It's like our body, you know, when you really, according to Abhidhamma or Vipasana, so if you notice the body is not just a solid body, it's made of many cells, many bones, many blood, and many 32 parts. So our body is like water form. There are so many small things. Feeling like a king who enjoys the meal cooked by the cook. The cook does not enjoy it, but it's the king that enjoys it. So the feeling is fully enjoyed of the object. So this means that when they're bad feeling, good feeling, it's like the feeling they take in the object well. Perception is like mirage. It gives the false illusion of impermanence and happiness and give the idea of self. So mental formation is just a porous tree. It's like those banana tree. It looks like very solid, but it's actually very soft inside. So this means that there are many factors in here, but actually they are very weak by itself, or very impermanence by itself. Consciousness is like illusion performed by meditation. It looks real, but it's not. So there's some similarly given about the 5 aggregates. So at this point, any question? You know, I will continue.
It's okay. Saji is very clear. Thank you.
Okay, all right, I'll continue. All right. Now, when we talk about the noble truth, right? So clinging of aggregate is considered as the noble truth of self. Right now, this is from the Tipitaka. Now, these monks is the noble truth of dukkha. Birth is dukkha, aging is dukkha, death is dukkha, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, despair are dukkha. Association with the unbeloved is dukkha, separation from love is dukkha, not getting what is wanted dukkha. In short, the 5 clinging aggregates, pancha upadana khanda are dukkha. Sometimes this word, Pali word, okay. Pancha is 5, okay. So upadana is clinging, khanda is aggregate. So we call it aggregate of clinging. So now we come to these words, dukkha. There are various transitions for the word dukkha. It can be suffering, stress, unsatisfactoriness. And opposite of is a sukha. So opposite of dukkha is sukha. So sukha means happiness, peacefulness, and something. So all the sufferings means that like sickness and death, and all the suffering and so on, like mentioned here, aging, death, sorrow, lamentation, and so on. So all these are due to rebirth. So what we mean by rebirth means the acquisition of the mind, body, or Nama-rupa, or 5 aggregates. So when you have 5 aggregates, you have a Nama-rupa, so you have the rebirth. And then second noble truth, craving, is the cause of dukkha. So when you have craving, you will have this clinging, upadana, right? So there are few opinions here. One opinion say the 5 aggregates on their own do not constitute the suffering or stress. They are dukkha only when functioning as an opinion, when they function as an object of clinging. Second opinion, 5 aggregates themselves are the mass of suffering. So here, which one you prefer? Do you prefer this number 1 or do you prefer the number 2? So we can open for discussion now. So any opinion, which one do you prefer, 1 or 2?
Yeah, Saji, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, to me, I will choose number 1. It's very true. The 5 aggregate itself is no problem. It's the clinging onto it, the word clinging on the attachment, the attached to the 5 aggregate that's caused the suffering.
Okay, so when they attach to the 5 aggregates, then they are suffering. Okay?
Yes, yes.
How about anybody choose the opinion number 2? The 5 aggregates themselves are the mass of suffering. Anybody prefer this second opinion?
Sayagyi, I think both opinions are having the same weight or similar weight, because both of them are actually referring to the clinging as well as the suffering, which is also linking to the 12 for dependent origination.
Okay, good. Yeah, there's a here. So any others want to give me another opinion, or which one you prefer, number 1 or number 2? How about Doris?
I think I agree with Sister Ong. It's true. They are quite related.
Okay.
My aggregates are the whole mass of suffering. It's true. It's
Okay.
because of
So you choose number 2. All right.
number 1 and 2 together of the
More
same.
than 2. Okay.
Saji, here again.
Yes.
To
Okay.
me, the 5 aggregate actually is just the object. It's like any other object. It's just an object, no problem. It's the word clinging, the attachment. That one is the culprit.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Okay. All right. Okay. So later we will discuss about that. Okay. So we see how should we meditate on the 5 aggregates. All right. So we talk more about seeing, which is more obvious here. So first thing, when you see something, this according to Abhidhamma, every time you see something, you see the color first. Like from very far, even the fire is very small, you can see the red color. You see the color. And second thing, you can see the shape. From very far, you know it's a dog or human or car. So these things come to your mind first, color and shape. So, but in terms of practice, so all the essential objects, right? So you have to know it because all these are under the rupa, okay? The materiality, matter. So when the things come to the eye base, or anything, come to the ear, you have the sound, and then come to nose, you got smell, come then on your tongue, and some come to contact with your body. So you just have to note all this as a part of the rupa khanda, right? Number 1. So number 2. So depends on the So when you got this seeing and so on, then there will be feeling, anything seeing or anything. So there will be everything that come to your 5 sense door or 6 sense door, they will be feeling. So normally what you do is that when there will be good feeling, there will be craving. So when there are bad feeling, there will be aversion or evil. But the main thing is when the feeling arises, you should contemplate it. Whether it's good feeling or bad feeling, you should contemplate it. So this is the second aggregate of a feeling. Then the third aggregate, we call it perception. Actually, the meaning perception is not easy to understand, but it's just it's kind of like give it a label or name, just to make a mental note, right? Okay. So for example, the thing is that from very far you notice it's a yellow color. You notice it. You notice when you see something, you notice it's a red flower. Or when you hear something, you say this is a bird sound, it's a car sound. So this means it's always trying to give a label or name. So there's the work of the third one, the perception, aggregate perception. And then according to Abhidhamma, all right, there will be misperception. So things are you perceive as beautiful, permanent, and belong to self. So this is called misperception, see in a wrong way. And you can see how it influences the mind. So when you see things beautiful, permanent, and you thought it belongs to self, then there will be clinging, attachment comes, right? Okay, and then the number 4, mental formation. There are, like say, there are 50 of them. So there are big group here. So there are many things, right? So anytime when the anger, greed, delusion, intention, mindfulness come, you should note these mental states as they arise, right? So this come definitely because the feeling and perception happen, because the 5 aggregates happen at the same time, right? And then all the consciousness regarding any consciousness, you all should know it. So this aggregate of the consciousness. So any seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thinking. All right. So this is how we should meditate on the 5 aggregates. In a short way, just say whatever is obvious, you just meditate it. That is how you should meditate on the 5 aggregates. And this is another example. When you hear the sound, what should you do? Okay. So when you hear the sound, the ear, so there will be ear, okay, and then the sound, the source of the sound. So this is the first aggregate, the aggregate of mentality, rupa. So after that, at the same time when you hear the sound, then there will be feeling, good or bad or neutral feeling. You should know it, all right? And then there will be effort here. So it's aggregate of mental formation. So there will be mental note, all these perception. You will know it because when you hear the sound, you identify it like bird sound, car sound, and engine sound. So this is like making the label, all right? So naming, labeling, identify. So this is aggregate of perception. And the hearing consciousness is aggregate consciousness. So that's how you meditate on the 5 aggregates, 5 aggregates. At the moment you're hearing, listening, or anything. Okay, so why 5 aggregates are suffering? And when we come to idea of suffering, so we need to know why is it suffering. Suffering means dukkha, but we need to start from anicca, right? What is anicca? Anicca means impermanence or changes. So things that are impermanence or changes means is dukkha, all right? So when things are impermanent, when they are anicca and dukkha, then you got the idea of anatta. So anatta, what is anatta? Anatta is a very profound word. Here is non-self. There are many ways we can translate anatta, like non-self. Another way we can understand is uncontrollable. It's not in the control of this self. All right. So there's a 2 definition on the anatta. But the anatta, because it's very profound, it's only when the Buddha arose in the world, the idea of anatta comes to be. So this one, anatta, it has to be understood to the anicca and dukkha, right? So this one, right? Now, 5 aggregates are suffering because they are suffering themselves, but because they are basis of future suffering. This means that if somebody have the 5 aggregates, so they will be rebirth. So that's why 5 aggregates is a basis for future suffering. So actually, just now when you talk about first opinion, second opinion, so actually the answer should be 2 opinions are correct. So due to the second noble truth, craving, the first noble truth, there is a dukkha or 5 aggregates of clinging will appear. Okay. Any question? I will continue.
Yes, Sayaji, may I ask a question, please?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, just go back a few slides just now regarding the meditate on 5 aggregates. Yeah, meditating on 5 aggregates. Does that mean that it is similar to 4 satipatthana, the Kayanupatthana?
Okay. Yes,
Ah.
I will come to 4 satipatthana later. It's
Okay,
also including in this Dhamma topic.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so no question, I'll continue. All right. So now we need to think about this. Meditate on ultimate truth like the Paramattha Dhamma, right? So why do we need to meditate on ultimate truth? All right. So first, we need to meditate on Nama-rupa or 5 aggregates as they really are. The idea is we want to overcome the idea of this I, sentient being, or human. Because when we take the human as a solid thing, but when we meditate, this means that you divide it to Nama-rupa. Then we can overcome the idea of this one, I, sentient being, or human. So that's the advantage of why you meditate on Nama-rupa. So when you meditate on Nama-rupa, how to meditate? You have to see we call it the 3 types of universal characteristic. There is a anicca, dukkha, anatta. I think you heard about this word. But actually, there is also another one you all should remember, asubha. So anicca is impermanence, dukkha is a suffering, unsatisfactoriness, anatta is non-self, and asubha is a non-beautiful or impurity. So when you meditate in this way, then you understand not to grasp on nicca. It's opposite way. Anicca, you don't grasp at nicca. You don't grasp at sukha, don't grasp at atta and subha. So it's the opposite of anicca, dukkha, anatta, asubha. Nicca is you don't grasp things as permanence, you don't grasp things as a happiness, you don't grasp things as belong to self, and you don't grasp things as beautiful or pleasant. So that's how we be mindful of ultimate truth. But when we live in a society, in your home, with your colleague, with your family, we still need to have a conventional truth or live with a concept. So you need to say, oh, there's I, there's you, there's my father, there's my mother, there's my Buddhist center, all right? But as a Vipassana or meditator, you should always keep the idea of this impermanence, suffering, and non-self and impurity. Okay, now we come to this 4 foundation of mindfulness, Anupassana, all right? So we have the first one, Kaya Anupassana. Second one is a Vedana Anupassana. Then the Chitta Anupassana, Dhamma Anupassana. So Kaya is a foundation of body. Vedana is a foundation of mindful feeling. Chitta is a consciousness. Dhamma Anupassana is on Dhamma. Here, Dhamma is not the Buddha teaching. It means that there are many things that phenomena, include Four Noble Truth, 5 aggregate, 6 sense based, and then there are others also. So besides this, we also got the 5 aggregate, there's also Bojjhanga, okay, 7 factors of enlightenment, okay, Bojjhanga also. Okay, now, so this to test you all. So you all can, those interested, can open the mic and we discuss together. All right, the first one, Kaya Anupassana. Okay, so when you meditate on Kaya Anupassana, so which one do you meditate on? So you meditate on this one. So which one do you take? Which one you take as an object?
Rupa Kanda,
Okay, Rupa
the
Kanda.
body.
Okay, the body. All right. So when you meditate on the Vedananupassana, so which one is the object here?
The feeling.
The feeling, right? How about the Chittanupassana?
That one is perception as well as
Vedana Kanda.
Sankhara. Sankhara Kanda and Sanya Kanda.
Huh? Viana?
Vijnana Kanda.
Oh, Viana Kanda. Okay. Right. Is on chitta. The word chitta is same with Vijnana. Okay, so this one. Okay, how about the last one, Dhamma? So when you meditate on the Dhammanupassana, so which one do you meditate on?
Sanya and Sankara Kanda.
Okay. There are different opinions. Some will say because this one already taken off, this already occupied already. Some are already occupied. So some will say the remaining one it belong to this one. Okay. Dhammanupassana, when you meditate on Dhammanupassana means that you meditate on the number 3, Sanya Kanda and Sankara Kanda. This in terms of theory, we say theory, all right? But in actual practice, so Dhammanupassana, because it's a big group by itself, there are 4 noble truths, 5 aggregates, 6 sense base, and bojjhanga, and so on. So Dhammanupassana includes all.
Yes.
Okay, all. So,
Yeah.
so when you are practicing meditation, do you need to, when you are practicing on this Kaya, Vedana, Chitta, and then Dhamma, do you need to do the classification? No need, you know. This in terms of theory, but actually in terms of practice, mindfulness, whatever appear to your mind, like the body, you just not as this, like the feeling of hot and cold is unpleasant feeling, you just not it. So if your mind have anger, defilement, and so on, it's a Chittanupassana. Okay. So when you have you not all the 6 sense base or whatever, so it's Dhammanupassana. So when you're practicing the 4 foundation mindfulness, whatever appear at that time, you just nod it. No need to purposely do the classification like this. All these are more on theory. Okay. Because if your mindfulness is very strong, whatever appear, the object will appear very fast. There is no time for you to do all the matching like now, you know. All these are just theory only. So no need to worry. Whatever appear, you just nod it. All right. Okay.
Sayaji,
Yes.
okay, can I ask a question? Regarding the Chittanupassana, the foundation of mindfulness and consciousness, I was just wondering if the Sankara Kanda is also part of it, because that is mental formation about the mind, the cognitive and the volition.
For Chittanupassana?
Yes, Chittanupassana, yes.
Oh yeah, yes. In terms of all these are like we say just now is in terms of theory. So this one also can come to here. It also can come to here. It also can come to here. Yeah. Because you remember all this, we call it this 5 aggregate, okay? 5 aggregate, they appear at the same time. Okay.
Yes.
Appear at the same time. So you cannot say one come and one does not come. So
Yes.
they influence each other, right?
Yeah, co-arises. Yeah, they co-arises. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let me change first. So this on bojjhanga. So there's 7. Okay. All right, now just a break for a while. Okay, now we go for Q&A. This is just to test you all how much you managed to follow me just now. Right, anybody can participate. So how many types of rupa? Just test you a little bit on Abhidhamma. How many types of rupa? Anybody can answer.
1.
Huh?
28.
28, okay. Can you remember any of them? I mean, for if you have studied Abhidhamma before. Any of them?
The great elements.
Okay, the elements, okay.
Yeah, the just now Sayaji mentioned about the sensitivity of the 5 senses, the eye, the ear, nose, tongue, body. The phenomena of the visible object, the sound, the smell, the taste.
Okay.
And you have the femininity and the masculinity.
Oh, okay. Good.
The heart
You remember
base.
your Abhidhamma. Good. Okay.
Heart phenomena.
Yes.
Heart base, yes. And then you have the life phenomenon and life faculty and nutriment. Is that correct?
Yes, there are some more. Later we will go to the rupa. You managed to
Oh.
get most of them. Oh, very good. Okay, now second question. How many kinds of cetasika? How many types?
52.
Okay, 52.
Okay.
Can you remember any of them?
Try.
How about
Occasional.
other student? You want
Oh.
to say something? Other student? Other participant here? Any listener here? How about oi, Vira oi?
Common to
Like
all.
Common,
Common
yeah.
to all. Sadarama cita
Okay.
cita.
Okay, okay.
Then 14 kilesa. Oh, sorry.
Hmm.
14
Aku salah.
Aku salah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
25 Subhana.
Oh, okay,
that's-
great. Good,
The
good.
beautiful mental.
Oh, okay, good, good. All right. Okay, later we will go in detail. All right. Let's
Yeah.
continue. After
Okay.
after removing the Vedana feeling and Sanya perception from the Cetasika, so the remaining how many are grouped as an aggregate of what? Can you remember? So after remember the 50, 52, all right? So remember these two. So how many left?
50 Sankara.
50, okay? So this 50, how do you call it?
Sankara Kanda.
Yes, Sankara Khanda, yeah.
Citasika.
Yeah. Sankara Khanda, right. Sankara Khanda, all right. Okay, next one. The Nama, the mind, can be compared to what? Like just now, the one example I showed. And then the Rupa can compare to what? So these two work together to perform their duties. So just now, we have the blind and cripple. So which one is Nama? Which one is Rupa?
Cripple. Nama is
Cripple is
cripple.
Nama is
mine
cripple.
is
Rupa
cripple.
is blind.
Huh?
Rupa
Nama is
blind.
blind. Okay, Rupa is blind, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Nama is the one that can see. So you just remember, mind is the one that can see but cannot walk. Then the body is the one that is like cannot see, is the blind.
Function. Yeah, the function.
But they just do the function. Okay. Now next question. Why are the 5 aggregates are called the aggregates of
喺度陣間先，陣間先，我搞掂我嘢先。
Okay, so why 5 aggregates are called the aggregates of clinging? This is a question, you know. I think maybe I don't mention just now. Why you call it clinging? J. Any answer?
Sanjay, can you say that Panchu Padana Kanda?
Pancha Upadana.
Sorry.
Pancha Upadana Khanda, right.
Panchu
Okay.
Is that correct? The first noble truth.
Yes, yes. But why do you call it clinging? Why is the word clinging is used here? You know?
Because like, for example, feeling, you know, when we have good feeling, we want more. So we cling to that. And
Right.
when we have unpleasant feeling, we try to push it away. So aversion arises.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
it's due to the craving, right?
Craving,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Clinging comes because of craving. All right.
Craving.
Yeah. People always crave. So clinging appear because of craving. Right. So the second noble truth is craving. Due to craving, there will be clinging. Right. Second noble truth will lead to the first noble truth. Right. So the cause is still the second noble truth, the craving. Okay. Okay, next question, right? Okay, this one easy, all right? A human being can be divided into?
Nama-rupa.
Okay, Nama-rupa. And then the mentality and materiality can be divided into 5?
Aggregates.
Okay, aggregates. So these 5 aggregates are called the aggregates of
Clinging.
clinging. And the other?
First
Or noble truth. Right, sorry.
First
Yes,
Noble truth.
Okay, due to the second noble truth, what is this?
craving.
Craving, right?
Yeah.
Craving that is occurs as the beginning of life. What is occurs at the beginning of life?
Rebirth.
Yeah, rebirth, right? Rebirth. How you call rebirth in Bali? What is
Jati.
rebirth? Yes, jati. All right. So jati occurs at the beginning of life. So when there's rebirth, then there will be aging, sickness, and various suffering. That's why they call it the 5 aggregates are the mass of suffering. Okay. This one. Can one live in society with ultimate truth only? Yes or no? You just know everything Nama-rupa, your father is Nama-rupa, everything is Nama-rupa. Is it okay? You just live in society with this idea? Yes or no?
We need conventional truth.
Okay, yes. No. The answer is no. Yes, you need conventional truth because there will be father, mother, there will be a wife and husband, children, and so on. Okay. Then the answer, next one. Can you practice meditation with ultimate truth only?
Yes.
Yes? Yes or no?
No,
No. Okay.
because
Why?
rupa is concept.
Okay,
Rupa is concept.
Okay. Besides this, what else is the answer?
Saji, when you reach, this is what we understand. When you reach a certain stage, I think one can actually meditate on the ultimate truth or seeking the ultimate truth, whereby the samatha is dropped, perception is dropped. And when Vipasana actually comes in, that the ultimate truth will arise. Is that correct? I mean, is that understanding correct, Saji?
Well, there are a few answers here. I would say if when at the starting point, you need conventional truth, you know?
Yes,
Like samatha practice, you need to take in like metta. When you practice the metta, you need to take in the idea of being your children. May your children, may my child be very happy. My father, mother be very happy.
Yes.
So during the beginning of meditation, you need some conventional truth or concept. But at the same time, you need ultimate truth like Nama-rupa or 5 aggregates. So the answer can be yes or no. Okay, yes or no. It depends on what you see. But ultimately, those who really on ultimate truth will be arahant. Okay?
Yes.
Which
Yes.
they already reached the very highest. They only see everything.
Supramundane. Yes. Yes. Supramundane.
But actually, we also need conventional truth, like concept. Conventional truth means concept, like you take in the sentence. Because you need to compare. When you know what is concept, you know what is the ultimate truth. You need two. Without these two, like you need to know what is human being. You also need to know what is the Nama-rupa. So by comparing the human being and Nama-rupa, so you know which is concept and which is the ultimate truth. So human being will be on conventional truth. Nama-rupa will be on ultimate truth. So we need both of them. All right. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
So if we don't take in the concept, then why do we pay respect to Buddha statue? Right? Buddha statue is just made of metal or made of wood or made of a stone. So why do we pay respect to Buddha? Buddha statue. Okay. Okay, now Sister Ong, she wants to know the Abhidhamma. So I'm going to talk a little bit more Abhidhamma. It's touch and go here, because Abhidhamma is a big topic. So she wants to know about 4 great elements. I will talk how should we practice the 4 great elements, and then the Aniboga is inseparable. What is the 18 concretely produced matter and 10 types of non-concretely produced matter? All right. So when you learn Abhidhamma, first thing you notice in Abhidhamma, there are many charts. So this is considered a full chart on Abhidhamma, where you can see the 28 types of things, right? And they are different. The one on the top is a different types of category. So the first thing when you learn Abhidhamma is you just had to really memorize 28. So after you be able to memorize 28, then you need to understand how do they are going to classify into various categories. But this is not so difficult once you understand these 28 in detail. Right? So first thing you notice, Abhidhamma really, there are so many numbers that you need to remember. Okay, so out of these 28, so the first group, which is the very basic unit for Rupa. Rupa is the materiality. So there will be 4 great elements. So earth, water, heat, and wind. All right. So Patawi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu for earth, water, heat, and wind. So how you should remember this Pali? I teach you all a shortcut. P, A, T, B. Just take the first letter. All right. So just take it as my papa is watching the TV. All right. So easy for you to remember. Okay. And out of these 4, for the first group, then there will be 4, we call it dependent element, because they depends on the 4 great elements. So there will be, one is called Wana, color. Another one, Ganda, smell. Then Rasa, taste, and Oja, nutriment. So these 8, so the 1, 4, and 4 here, though they are very basic unit, okay? Because they are very basic unit, so this why we call it inseparable, because they cannot be separated from each other. You cannot divide them into a further, because they are very basic unit. Okay? So about the 18 concretely produced matter. So just now we have the 28, all right? So out of these 28, so you need to minus with the 10 first, or this 28 will be mentioned down here. So the most important thing about this 18 concretely, why you call it concretely? Because you can use it to practice Vipasana. So they have distinct nature. They have the characteristic of anicca, dukkha, anatta. They are produced by karma and so on. And you can practice to be comprehended by it. That means that you can take these 18 and practice the Vipasana. So include the 4 great elements: earth, water, wind, fire, or wind, and then sensitivity, eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body. Object, visible object, sound, smell, taste, and tangibility. But sometimes the tangibility means the touching. We don't calculate it because touching is made of the earth, which is already included here. Earth, that means that when you touch something, there will be, for example, when your hand touch something, there will be hardness and softness. So earth is considered here. That's why we don't take in the tangibility. And then the heat, that means the cold and hot, or wind, the pressure. So because this earth, heat or fire, wind is included here, so sometimes that's why we only take this 4. We don't take this one. This is just some concept, okay? And then the sexual one, masculinity and femininity, heart, hadaya, and then life, faculty, and nutriment. All right. So main thing, this 18 one, we call it the concretely for this method, because main thing is obvious to us and can be used as a Vipassana. So how do you meditate on 4 great elements? So 4 great elements is one of the, besides, if for example, if you try to not breathing meditation, you find that breathing meditation is not easy. The moment you try to not the breathing, somebody feel that they are like controlling their breath, they cannot even breathe. Then you can change your mind to meditate on these 4 great elements. So the main thing is you try to meditate on their characteristic, not the actual thing. Like you don't meditate like a piece of earth in your body or piece of water in your body. What you need to know is just the characteristic. What is characteristic? So for example, when you sit down, you find in a cushion your buttocks touching there, your bottom there's hardness or softness, or your body there's softness. So you try to meditate all these are called the characteristic. And the water, the fluidity, liquidity, or the cohesion, stickiness. So this is the characteristic. The heat will be hot, warm, or cold. The wind will be motion. So every time you see the wind, how you know the wind? Actually, we cannot see the wind, but for example, you can see like this kind of like small balloon. You can see it's moving around, then you know the wind is there. And when the wind is there, it's like supporting it. So the wind has the function of supporting this kind of thing. All right. So that's the characteristic. So main thing when you meditate on 4 great elements, just remember you try to meditate on their characteristic. So this is some of the charts. So when you study Abhidhamma, you need to produce your own charts, you know. So because if you're going to rely on the charts done by others, it look too complicated for you. So I will advise you make your own chart. So this is a chart I made myself for my study in my university just now. So under the concrete produce method is the blue color. All right. So you do your own chart and it's easy. And the red color is the non-concrete one. So there will be sense organ, gochara, object. Okay. Base is 2. So this number 4, 5, 2, Adya is 1, life is 1, Ahara is 1. So you combine, there will be 18. All right. So this one can be used as to meditate for Vipassana. So the another thing when you study Abhidhamma, you also need to know the 4 causes of materiality. There will be Kama, Chitta, Utu, Ahara. Kama is a action, Chitta is the consciousness, Utu is a temperature. Okay, so this is temperature. Ahara is just a nutriment. Okay, right. So you need to know which of these 18 can be affected by this Kama, Chitta, Utu, Ahara. So all these are just some Abhidhamma points. So the main point is that the materiality, it has causes, and all these causes will change the rupa, the materiality. Now, how understanding of Abhidhamma can on rupa can help us to meditate better. Rupa is easier to meditate. This is important, you know. So we always start with rupa because it's easier to meditate than nama, because nama you cannot see. Rupa you can see your physical body, earth elements, so on. You meditate on rupa, it helps to sharpen the Vipassana knowledge. And you understand the rupa is made of 28 types of materiality. So instead of just see as solid, you break down it to small parts. So it break down the concept of solidity. And then rupa is subject to 4 causes, like just now the Kama, Chitta, Utu, Ahara. So it's anicca, dukkha, anatta. So by seeing the Paramattha clearer, this helps to improve, sharpen the inside knowledge. And when you meditate on rupa, it helps to reduce the confusion about whether this being or I. You know, this is just a concept. Conclusion. All right. Knowing the Nama-rupa, mentality, materiality can help us to overcome the clinging to the concept of self and I. This will reduce, the main thing is to reduce this sakkayaditthi, wrong view of self. And by removing this wrong view of self, it helps us to let go of the selfishness and cling to wrong things. So in support the practice Noble Eightfold Path and then the attaining of Nibbana. Okay, it's finished already. So any question you want to ask or any chats here or anything you want to ask for my teacher?
Yes, Sayajji, I'd like to ask a
Yes.
question, please.
Okay.
Regarding the chart of meditating on the hearing,
Mhm.
the sound, but when we do the meditation of Anapanasati,
Okay.
we are supposed to focus on the object of the breath, in breath and out breath, and then the sound and the rest of the so-called objects,
Okay.
secondary objects should not interact. That means we shouldn't focus. We should concentrate just on the in breath and out breath.
Okay, it depends on your types of meditation because Anapanasati, meditation of breathing, it can be included in samatha or vipassana.
Yes.
Right. So if you are going to practice samatha, which is one-pointedness, so if you're going to notice on breathing, you should ignore everything. Actually, the meditation is so easy. You are not supposed to know everything. You just need to know one thing: is your breath only. So whether you need to focus deeply, like long breath, short breath, or maybe any types of breath, just get one-pointedness because it's samatha practice. But if you're on Vipassana, so you have to be focused on your main object. It can be your abdomen rising, falling, or breathing. But if other things are more obvious, all right, whether like the sound and so on, you can choose to contemplate if you want. But if your background is very noisy, okay, so let's say if you meditate and then your neighbor is doing some maintenance job, if you're going to notice that all the time, it's going to bother you. So you can just ignore the sound.
Mm.
All right. So that's why it's very important. So for those who practice meditation, you must always know what's the purpose of your meditation. Is it for
Yes.
you to gain peacefulness, or is it for you just you want to get some frustration, or you just want to know more about your Nama-rupa or 5 aggregates?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So-
your motive or purpose should be very clear from very beginning.
Yes. Yes,
All
thank you, Sayagyi. And then for Vipassana meditation, we focus on, although it's anapanasati, but the object is basically rising and falling.
Okay. Right.
So the rising and falling of the four satipatthana, that means not all together, but mainly the feelings, and then the mental factors. They can identify the different mental factors one by one. Once we have achieved a better insight. Is that correct? Because initially, the mental factors all sekali come, then it's very difficult to identify one by one. But after a while, we are able to see the mental factors like anger, hatred, and then the rising and falling of it. But it's just that not able to see the 7 javanas as yet. It's too deep. That one is too deep.
Yeah.
The
key word is whatever obvious, you should know it. So at first, when your mindfulness is not so strong, you can maybe notice few, but when your mindfulness is very strong, you can see. But actually, according to Abhidhamma, also Vipassana, only one type of mind, one type of consciousness, because we have 82, 89. So one will arise at one time. So if you got anger mind, you don't have the things. If you got mindfulness mind, you don't have others. So just meditate on one if you can. But sometimes they appear to be many. It's not that many, but it's different time, different timing they come. But it's very short timing. So the one come, another come. But that's why you need to do the more Chittanupasana. That's why Chittanupasana, contemplation of mind, is very easy. You can just do it at home, or when you're doing the job, or when you're doing gardening, or you see how things come to the mind, and then you see how it disturbs the mind, or how the mind tackle with it. Okay.
Yes. It's the mind seeing the mind. Yeah. So,
the mind the later mind see the earlier mind.
Yes.
Okay.
So is it considered as secondary object as well as a primary object? How do we identify? Because now the mind, the awareness is knowing the awareness, the mind knowing the mind. So which one is the object and which one is a subject, or both are objects? Sorry, I don't know how to.
Normally the knowing mind that observe the previously mind, the knowing mind later is the subject, and then the other one that come earlier will be the object.
Okay, thank you.
Nama
Yes.
to Nama. Okay,
Okay.
Nama to Nama. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much, Sayagyi. Understand now.
Okay, so anybody want to ask any question? Yes. Okay, anything on meditation? If not, anything on the charts just now. So I hope you all clear about this Nama-rupa and then the 5 aggregates. This is just some sharing from the Vipasana and Abhidhamma. So I will show you the charts. So if any question you have doubts, you can ask me to stop. All right, I will just revise it from the beginning. Okay. So okay. I have to see from the beginning. Okay, yeah. Okay, so if you got, I just do some short revision on this one, okay? All right, so same like Abhidhamma or Vipassana, you have to understand about this Chitta, Cettasika, Rupa, and Nibbana, right? The main thing is the Chitta and Cettasika are two. They arise together, cease together, having same base, take object together. And then second thing you need to know what is Nama and Rupa. So Nama is invisible, the mind is invisible, but the body is visible, okay? And then you need to know the relationship between the mind, the Nama-rupa, right? And then and they need to work together, okay? Nama-rupa, they always work together because they cannot perform the function by themselves. And there are many ways you can see, all right? Is it like Nama to Rupa, Rupa to Nama, Nama to Nama, Rupa to Nama, Rupa to Nama, Rupa. So try to identify what is the subject, what is the object, what is the cause, what is the effect. So if you can see that, it's very good. Then your Vipassana knowledge will be sharper. Okay. And then
Sorry,
okay.
Saji.
Yes.
If we go back to just now the Rupa
Okay.
to Nama or Nama
Okay.
to Nama.
All right.
Sometimes we have situation like, let's say
Mhm.
one person is he is like cannot take certain food. For example, milk.
Mhm.
It will make
Mhm.
her stomach upset.
Mhm.
So how should I say? It's like every time she see the milk, she will feel upset already, even without drinking it.
Okay.
So it's like a condition.
Right. Yes.
So in this kind of situation, is it Nama to Nama?
Yeah. It's Nama. The seeing consciousness is the cause is seeing. Then the feel uncomfortable is the feeling is the Nama also. So Nama to Nama. All right.
Okay.
For my condition, sometimes I like to drink milk, but when the moment I drink milk, I feel that I really go to toilet very fast. So mine is lupa to lupa. It's nothing to do with the Nama. Okay. But some people, when they see it, they feel very uncomfortable. So it's Nama. The Nama cause the uncomfortable feeling in the lupa. Because the Nama-rupa always work together. So either one influence another one. Okay. So we can use the things like just now. Yeah? But we need to be careful with terms like, but you can say the mind control the mind. Yes, the mind control, because the mind can control, but you cannot say the body control. You only can use the word the body influences the mind. The word influence is different from the word control, Yeah, okay. Because the body, you cannot say the body controls the mind because the body is lifeless. Okay, but the mind can control the body. All right, Jenny?
Okay.
Okay, so we continue the charts. This one I already explained just now, so we just do some revision. So no matter how you try to know the 5 aggregates, so just remember these 5 arise together simultaneously, but only one is predominant at one time. So at that time, this means that if the feeling is obvious, then the Vedana Khanda is obvious. So if you feel the Sankara or consciousness, only one predominant, but these 5 happen together, like our 5 finger, okay? Our 5 finger also happen together, but only one is maybe obvious at one time. So this is some similar here, all right? So 5 aggregates of clinging is the first noble truth. And first noble truth coming because of the second noble truth, all right? Second noble truth is the craving. Craving leads to clinging. And all these are due to rebirth. Rebirth, when we say rebirth, the rebirth terms means that it's the acquisition of the Nama-rupa or 5 aggregates. So when there's rebirth, there will be a mass of suffering. Okay. So when we say just now the opinion 1 or 2, so both are correct. It depends on how you see it. So that's how we can meditate on 5 aggregates. And when you meditate on hearing also. All right. So when we say suffering, so every time when we use the word dukkha, you need to know what is dukkha. So you need to understand from the word dukkha means coming from the word anicca. All right. Because of impermanent and suffering, we call it dukkha come. And because of anicca and dukkha, then the sense of anatta come. So the anatta is very profound. Only when the Buddha arose in the world, then the people start to understand about the anatta. Or you can say the Buddhism, with so many religions in the world, only Buddhism talk about anatta. But anatta, because it's very profound, we have to understand from anicca and dukkha. So that's how we meditate. And then you can try to match the 5 aggregates in with the 4 foundation of mindfulness. Okay. So I think the end is talking about some Abhidhamma point. All right. So any question on this or any question on meditation? All right. So if not, we will end the session today. All right.
Thank you so much, Sayaji, for your teaching. Thank you so much for the Nama-rupa.
Okay. All right.
very clear and profound, especially your
Okay.
analysis and examples. It really gives a very good aspect of understanding to the Nama-rupa, as well as how we can meditate on the Nama-rupa. Thank you so much. Really,
Okay.
really.
All right. Okay. For those who join recently, okay. So short announcement. Okay. So Tuesday next week, actually I've been starting with the chanting in Chinese, you know, and also by next week we more go back to number one, focus on the Pali learning in Chinese. Okay. And also we already had the Saturday Pali learning class. Well, but I think sometimes once in a while we still need to go back to the basic grammar. Like today, you know, even though you've been hearing the word Nama-rupa and five aggregates all the time, but still we need to go back to the very beginning to try to understand the Nama-rupa. Anyway, thanks to Sister Ong for requesting this talk. So in future, if you want any talk, maybe we make it as a monthly event, you know. So if you need any talk or any topic, you can just message me. So it's quite nice. I think it's quite fun for me to do some research on this kind of topic, because I try to put in the Vipasana and Abhidhamma point, okay? Because I think we need some theory for us to practice, but we need to know how should we apply the theory also through the Vipasana. All right. So if no further question, we will end the session here.
Thank you, Sayaji. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you,
Sayaji.
Sayaji.
Thank you,
Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu,
Sayaji.
sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so
Thank you,
before you all
Saji.
leave, okay, before you all leave, so we just do a few very short sharing of merits. May all the wholesome merits we get by listening to Dhamma talk and having discussion with Dhamma talk, may we share with our departed ones who have passed away. And for those who in needs of this merits, may they receive our merits and may they be born. For those who pass away, may they be born in a good and happy place. Yes, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu,
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 sadhu, sadhu. Thank
Okay,
you,
bye-bye.
Thank you,
Sayaji.
Saji.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Saji.
everyone.